back to Class Culture. Happy Oddities. Thank you so much, Hearts Ago, for enjoying these episodes. I love making them. So we are basically on the same track. I cannot believe this is number 11. We have what, 20 more to go. I have all of my titles. Yes, I have them written down. Oh, wait. Oh, yep. I have them written down. And I like where we're going with all of the topics. So I hope you've been keeping track because I really enjoy Vlogtober. I'm glad I did it. And just like I did last year for Vlogmas in December, that'll have 2 months down and 10 months to go as far as holidays, celebratory type topics, and culture. And let's just say the beginning of art and craft and just human interaction with, let's just say, primitive means of communication, because this is a modern means of communication. So that says a lot. That's one sentence for a lot that's going on planet Earth. And I love Halloween. I love the topic of divination, and I love the symbols that have to deal with Halloween. So we finally get to that point in time in this whole series. Now, what have we spoken about before? I hope my list is complete. I didn't rewrite it. It's all in my handwriting. Runes, numbers, letters, rituals, protection, lore, oracles. Uh, what am I talking about now? 8. Did we do? We did. What did we do for number 8? See, I messed up. I should have wrote down. But this is number 10. Oh, we did witches. We did warlocks. What was number 8, you guys? Okay, you're gonna make me look, child. Let's look at the playlist because I want to do this right. You know how we rock and roll here in Class Culture. While you're waiting for me, if you're new, please go ahead and subscribe, like, and share the video. If you are a content creator with at least 1,000 and you have a community tab, that would be much appreciated. So let me look and see. Yeah, let's read it properly, Deirdre. Okay, we did runes, numerology, letters, rituals, charms and protection. We did lore. We did oracle. There it is. Gods, warlocks, and witches. And today we're doing, okay, that's not on there today because I'm doing this right now. We are doing divination. So, yay, finally. It's coming together. I mean, this is everything you ever wanted to know. This is a playlist for Gigi Darling as well, because when she's doing her research, when she needs inspiration and all that good stuff, it's all here in one place. So thank you so much for hanging in. Oh yeah, I come back. I hit the links. I do more research. I remind myself. I'm sorry, I'm doing 2 things at once, yeah. I remind myself on what I spoke about. I go back and hit the links and see what I miss. I go back and get images and help build things for the future, what you'll see me doing. And we'll both be able to go back in time and go, oh, wow, I see how that was beneficial. Or wow, I remember when we talked about that in October. Or, oh, wow, thank you so much for that link. Now I know where to go. Or if I'm having a conversation with someone and they want to talk about lore, I can give them the link to this video. When I'm networking or when I'm creating or when I'm developing or producing, it's all here for me and anyone else that I need to speak to. Because they might say, well, what is your thought on divination? I'll give them this link. I'll say, take a look and we'll talk later. Yeah, That's exactly what I'm going to do. Because I'm getting to the point, HUGz, where I'm so busy, just like my production list. People are rocking and rolling, watching it. And they appreciate that I already made something where they can also listen to at their leisure. And I don't have to repeat it for the next 50 years. We're claiming it. So let's talk about the topics today. We are going to talk about divination, the process of divination. This is going to be a little, probably an hour and a half. Divination, the process of divination, reading intestines for divination, reading entrails. I had to do both because two different things came up. Haruspex. Let me put this in here so I can say it correctly. Just in case. Just in case. That's how we rock and roll here. Just in case. Oh, wait a minute. Is it up there already? No, it's not. Thank goodness. Here it is.
Haruspex.
Haruspex. I said Ruspex. Haruspex.
Haruspex.
And then I'll leave that up there. So when we get up there, and then sorry, somebody sent me a text. Of course, right? All right, here we go. Oh, I forgot to hit. Oh, goodness. I hate when people do that. Oh, my God. Edit. Undo. Okay, here we go. Edit. Copy. I hit cut, y'all. Y'all know how it is. My life is cuckoo. All right. Paste. Here we go.
Soteriology.
Soteriology. One more time.
Soteriology.
Soteriology. Because I was like, what? So I learned something new today as well. Then we're going to watch, or not watch, look at some of the symbols. Well, you are watching. Then we're going to look up. Second. I should have had these open, y'all. It's been a busy day. Okay, here we go. Samhain. Okay, I said it with her because it's spelled weird. Samhain. And then Day of the Dead. Ooh, it's a lot. Then we're going to look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 websites. So let's do it. Let's do it. So enjoy. Everything we're going to talk about is down below in the description box. Okay, let's hit it. So the first thing is divination. Okay, now a lot of people are very superstitious. I'm sorry, the only word that comes to mind is scary, afraid, frightened. I call it ignorance, just like the beautiful basket that was on when you, sorry, give me a second. People are, I've been gone, I've been here all day working on other things, of course, but and now all of a sudden I'm getting bombarded with something. Give me a second. I hate that. Okay, so the divination basket. Those are all the tools and the tricks of the trade. Okay, that is authentic. It is in the Smithsonian Institute. It's a shame because it probably belonged to an authentic practitioner, a wizard, a witch, a sorcerer, a healer, a shaman, whatever word you want to use. Okay, and here is someone in the process of the practice. Okay, UNESCO, right? Heritages. They protect that. And this is what I'm going to do. Let me see what they say. Give me a second. Nigeria. Okay, so I'll put this down below too. Copy. Yeah, because the more I'm finding the more we delve into this, the more websites I'm touching. So which one where do I want to put it? Okay, we'll put it here because it's important to the subject matter, right? So here you see someone practicing divination. Okay, you saw the tools when you first came in, and you saw the you know, here they call it, what do they call it? Give me a second. I'm going to use the right words. The background. Okay. You saw when we first came in, right? You see it back there. And here you see all other things relating to divination. Now, it doesn't have to be intestines. It doesn't have to be entrails. It doesn't have to be rocks or stones or bones or beads or hair. Another form of divination is tarot. So, boom, there you go. I'm not trying to rhyme, it just happens naturally. Tarot cards are a form of divination. There you are. Don't be weirded out about it. Don't be scared. It is what it is. It's the process of what we're going to learn. Now, I'm not going to say it ahead of time. Here in the British Library is an Ethiopian manuscript. So when you do your research, because we'll never get out of here, if I keep adding websites, you will be fascinated with the topic, just like I am. We already talked about runes. Okay, so you see how it all comes together. Interesting, right? Look at that. Someone found it in situ. Someone left it there. Here is a gentleman practicing divination with his crown on his head. Here is a board, a divination board. They're very expensive, but you can still find them like on eBay or whatever, what have you. You know, the clay, wood. It just depends how they are stylized or what culture they came from, what tools. Okay. You can go on and on and on. All I did was Google it. So there you go. Doesn't that look very familiar? Yeah. Done it. Done it. A lot of things were displaced as people were murdered, enslaved, burned, stolen, part of their, let's just say, belongings, and then they died and it stayed where it was left. You know, here's a bowl. Okay. It just depends on the story of the person that owned it. It really does. And it's fascinating how they use natural things to practice their craft. Like that's an animal skin. And here's someone practicing divination in the traditional sense of it. Very ancient, very respected, very primitive. So here's another divination tray. Interesting, right? Okay, there you go. All right, let's get out of here because we'll never. Oh, I could just sit and look at that. So what's next? The process of divination. Now, I'm not going to show you anything scary. We're just hitting the topics because we have forever to come back and visit them, right? The process of interpretation, okay? Divination may be found in different diviners, and by one diviner, because the let's just say the how should I put it? The base of the word divination is divine, raising the question of how the boop 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 boop. You can read the rest, but there is divination reference in the Bible, whether you knew that or not. I'm sorry. Give me a second. I'm just being bombarded. I'm trying to do two things at once. It's not working. Okay. So it is in the Bible. And the Bible says, it's from the Latin word divinare, to foresee, to foretell, to predict, to prophesize, related to by a god, a force of nature, or just a thought or your imagination. That I added that. Is the attempt to gain insight into a question or a situation by way of an occultic standardized process or a ritual. Well, I told you guys, they won't stop. But we're going to keep that. All right. Now, we're not going to look at pictures because we'll be here forever. You enjoy yourself. Yeah. Okay. I don't know what's going on. Reading intestines. Guts for divination. Okay. Hold on. It's not going to get scary. It's just informational. Intestines. Now, that's the word we looked up.
Haruspex.
Haruspex. Okay. Oh, can you see it? Now, I see a little circle in the middle of the screen. So let me see what's going on. If it doesn't come up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I'm going to say stop screen, and then I'm going to share it. You might have seen it, but it's hard when you are doing this and no one's here to let you know. It will not come up. And I refuse to start. Wow, very weird. So sorry for the delay. It is what it is. I am not starting this over. We are going to do what we're going to do. I knew that's why I don't know where I left off, but I think I was saying something wasn't coming up. And in the process, I was just going to read it. So we did divination. Did we do the process? No, we did the process of divination. Now we're going to read reading intestines for divination. That was a little bit of foretelling. Yeah, I knew something was weird. It's okay. We are here for the long haul. We're not going nowhere. That's why I'm going to, now see, it's doing it again. Is this another YouTube-y thing? There it is. Interesting, right? They got the money, honey. They sure do. Now, here we go. Let's listen to it again.
Haruspex.
Haruspex was part of a large study of organs, or haruspeci, how they said it there, was part of a larger study of organs for the sake of divination. So after someone passed away, what's left? The corpse. And witch doctors, shaman, healers, sorcerers, witches, warlocks, whatever you want to call them, were very curious. Humans are curious. They want to understand how the body works and all that good stuff. So I suspect that's where it started. Okay. Now, it's a lot going on, but yeah, that's where it started, in my opinion. Give me a second. I'm going to leave there. I'm not going to read all of that because the next thing I have coming up. So yeah, here it talks about the divinatory reading of animal intestines, a cultural practice widespread in East Africa, but hardly given attention in the anthropological literature. Now it is, and that's why I have so much to share with you today, because I want to bring it to light. Okay, I want to give it the attention it's due. That's the cradle of mankind. It had a purpose, it had a meaning, it was part of survival. So if you go to images, survival of humankind, right? If I hit him, what is going on? If this is glitchy, it is what it is. I am not changing nothing. Sorry, not sorry. I'm not doing it. I've had a long day. I'm not doing it. It's not gonna happen. So I'm trying to change. I'm just trying to look at the images. Yeah, now it can't be reached. Do you see that? So we won't be seeing those images. So what's the next thing? Reading entrails for divination. Spooky. No, it's just them taking your money and somebody's saying it's them taking your money and coming through with the process. I think everything is overwhelmed. I really do. I'm glad I took the day sort of kind of off today. Thank you. Hearts of Gold. Whenever this hits, you know how I'm doing. But yeah, they not right. There it is. Now I can see it. Okay. Reading entrails. Now, entrails is just another word for intestines, guts. Okay. In the religion, however, when you pull up intestines, they go back where they belong at the beginning. Here, they only started at Rome, and I'm like, no. But anyway, in a religion of ancient Rome, the Haruspex. Let's say it again because that's a hard word to say, y'all.
Haruspex.
The Haruspex. Was a person trained to practice a form of divination called the inspection of the entrails of sacrificed animals. So by the time it got to a controlled, organized civilization, they were given names and given duties, and only that person probably did it because it was a bit of a messy situation. Even in the villages, even in ancient, the motherland of humankind, the cradle of human existence of the continent of Africa, it was probably one or two people, not the whole village did it. So that was brought up and through migration and through time to other civilizations. They gave it a name. It was a practice. It was revered. It mattered. It was probably the early signs of practicing science, not science, early occupations, I'll say. Early scientists, early doctors, early everything, pharmacists, all that type of thing. But they had to study the stuff to see how things were made, right? What happens when you eat an apple? So through divination, they were able to see, oh, wow, it goes all the way down, and that's why it comes out there, you know. Now, that was Sesame Street, but you know what I mean. Think back 20, 40,000 years ago. They didn't have books. They had their hands, they had their tools, and they lived off the land. It is what it is. And that's why a lot of people live near rivers to wash up. But yeah, sorry. Animals don't take baths every day, so think about it. So the reading of omens, specifically from the liver, is also a Greek thing. So by the time all of that came through Rome and, you know, the uppers of the African continent and the Greeks and the Romans and all of that, it became a science, something important, and it was respected. But the liver was the thing. And here they say the lungs and the heart contained a number of signs that indicated God's approval or disapproval. Isn't that interesting? Right? And then you go on and on and on and on and on and on. Okay? So if you want to look at images, let's see if they're going to, you know, we pay for it. No rush. No rush at all. Yeah, the energy is amazing. Now, if you practice biology, the human body, this is a part of the intestine. That's what this is supposed to mimic, the stone. Good grief. I am not redoing it. No, ma'am. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to sign into. Give me a second. Yeah, here it is. All right. So that's copying that stone, that image. You can tell someone took their time to recreate what the intestines actually look like when they're attached to the body. So that's beautiful, right? And here they are studying. Looks like she's reading tea leaves, right? And here's another representation of it. Without me going into any detail, here's another one. So the wise men would just go around copying each other. You know, here are practitioners. Okay. Here's another one. Okay. So that's what that is. Because there's a beautiful, right? And to this day, doctors and scientists still do what? Practice medicine. Look at the pictures. Wow. Let me try another. Hold on. I'm going to try another Wi-Fi connection. All right. Can you hear me? Let me refresh. Okay, I'm back. Now let me go back to reading entrails. Yeah, modern anything and everything ain't what it used to be or should be or close to where it should be. Yeah, okay, here we go. Can you see it? Yeah. I know, I'm trying not to get mad. It's like, come on now. Now, yes, unfortunately, it happened to humans. Now, I would like to think the human was already dead, but unfortunately, we're not. Here's an interesting book from Tarot Heritage, Divination and Oracles. Okay. Here is some of the tools of the craft. Okay, here is a depiction of the intestines. So, it's not too much, it's not too gory, but it matters to discuss the subject. Okay, I don't know what this is. Oh, they're talking about the skin over newborn babies and stuff. Okay, yeah, we all need to see that. Okay, so what's next? Yeah, I know this is a problematic video. I don't even care. We just here relaxed. You know how I rock and roll. Now let's actually look up the word again. Okay. Sorry. I'm trying to do too many things at once. Here, let me close that. Okay. Reading so we did divination. All of these are down below in the description box. You'll probably have a better time whenever you come across this video. I appreciate you currently in the present time, in the future, and beyond. Okay. Divination, the process of divination, reading intestines for divination, reading entrails for divination, and that word that I hate to pronounce.
Haruspex.
Haruspex. Okay. Haruspex. Just call them witches. Ridiculous. Okay. Give me a second. Oh, I have it up there twice. How interesting. Yeah, I only need it once. Okay. So there it is.
Haruspex.
And there is the intestine. And there that is the instructions on how to read it. We just looked at that, the stones. And it was in ancient Rome. It's a religious official who interpret omens by inspecting the intestines, the guts of sacrificial animals. Okay. And that's where I read it before. Usually the livers, the hearts, and the lungs. We said that already. We already discussed what it is. We discussed that is the upper part of the intestines. Now, here, ancient systems of divination using entrails of animals. One method was to sacrifice the animal to the gods. Now, they leave that out of a lot of stories, don't they? Because, of course, they ate the meat and wore the fur, but they also did divination. Okay? Second. Okay. Haruspex was practiced by all of those folks in the Greek Mediterranean area. Okay? Now, as well as African and South American tribes. So, yay for that description there. So, it's inclusive. A nice thing about what I'm doing for these videos and this subject matter is providing proof. I don't like being, let's just say, challenged about something that has been written about for over 5,000 years. I will not waste my time. No, ma'am. No, sir. Okay. Images. Okay, so you're going to get a lot of weirdness. Sorry, not sorry. But we already talked about this. So if you want more examples of that, there it is. Okay. Now, what else was on here so you're going to get weird stuff. So you're going to have to flush it out, flush through the nonsense. But okay, here we go. All right. Learned people, a depiction of learned people doing exactly what we've discussed thus far, practicing the craft. Okay? There we go. And then I like this one too. Yeah, you gotta take your time and find what you need, because then they talking about toys and video games and nonsense like that. Haruspex. So there's a new word for you and a new word for me. What's the next topic? Let me try to say it without hitting the pronunciation again. Soteriology. No, I said it wrong again.
Soteriology.
Soteriology. Soter. Okay, so a tier. So it's so busy tonight. Okay, soteriology. Okay, so let's look it up together. Soteriology. It is so glitchy tonight. What is going on? Soteriology. Soteriology.
Soteriology.
The doctrine of salvation. Soteriology is the study of religious documents of salvation. Why do we want to talk about that, Gigi darling? Well, because divination, the origin of that word is divine. Salvation, divination, trying to find out and to get omens, it had to come from somewhere, inspiration. And you wanted to be what? Saved. You wanted to have knowledge. You wanted to know, how can we live? So
Soteriology
is the doctrine of salvation. What is soteriology in Christianity? Is the branch of theology dealing with the study of salvation. How do we save ourselves from sickness, seasons, harm, hate, death, diarrhea, whatever, whatever ailed them. They want to know an omen. They want to know the future. People read the Bible so they can get saved in heaven. It's the doctrine of salvation.
Soteriology.
Soteriology is a fancy word for what that shaman was doing, let's just say 100 million years ago, or however they say long humans been here, whatever. Okay. And they were practicing the same thing, the study of salvation, the study of, let's just say, how things work. Right? So, what is the doctrine of soteriology? Okay, I said it. Soteriology, deliverance, redemption, saving of human beings from, I'll say, illness, sins, and other consequences, which include death and separation from family, God, food, water, shelter, whatever you need. If you got a stick in your arm, you had to get the doctor to take it out, and then you had to heal because you couldn't use your arm. It's salvation, right? Soteriology. So that's the purpose, because some people, I had to stick that in there in the middle of talking about this. Well, what's the purpose? Well, salvation. When you go and get your teeth clean, when you drive correctly and you get home safe, you didn't die in a car crash. Salvation, staying alive, survival. Okay. So next is Halloween symbols. Now, why do I have the same thing open? What is going on? Samhain. No, that's not next. Halloween symbols is next. Halloween symbol. This is the glitchiest video I ever made. It's just crazy. Something must be going on with the internet. I'm claiming it because it's not me. So Halloween symbols. Let's look at that. So should I? Let me see. Yeah, Halloween symbols. I know. I'm keeping it right. We already looked at what divination. Did we look at what divination looks like? We sure didn't. We sure didn't. What divination looks like? We sure didn't. Here we go. Edit, copy. Yep, that's the next one. Edit, paste. Woo! This is a good one. Now, I'm not stopping to discuss the subject matter yet. We will do that in the future. However, this is a good place to start. Let's just say I make this video and we'll meet you back next October. We're going to be having these discussions. We sure are. And we can have these discussions throughout the whole year. Whatever, tickles my fancy. So what does divination look like? Now, we showed a picture before. I just want to show it to you one more time to bring it home before we talk about Halloween symbols, Samhain, and Day of the Dead. Okay? Because we want to bring it home. And it is National, Latin Month? I'll get the right thing. I'll put it over on the community board. But yeah, I wanted to talk about the Day of the Dead as well. So look at that. It's a whole ritual. It's beautiful. The silent voices of African divination. Harvard. Okay, isn't that beautiful? Look at the costumes. Look at the women, their hair, the wrappings, the paintings, their clothes, the tools, the beads, the jewelry, the fur, the pots, the gourds, the baskets, the furniture, the weaving there in the back, everything, the arts and craft of it all. It's beautiful. And there's the bowl again. Okay. And we also discussed, and now we know that tarot is a form of divination. Okay. I mean, I had to show that to you. I had to. And all the tools that were in the basket in the back below. But yeah, I just want to, and there is, what is it called? A chart? I don't know. We'll just call it the chart. And I'm sure it's another word, but I got to go forward. Okay. And here are other pictures. I think we should honor that first, because when people talk about African American culture, I often ask them, what part of, I'm moving things. What part of African American culture do you study or hold dear or is sacred to you? They don't have answers. These are mine. Sorry, not sorry. Beautiful. Look at beautiful. And this is what does divination look like? Images. And this is down below. Beautiful. Beautiful. We should, I can't even get the words out fast enough. We need to find these people and preserve them. And get somebody sit next to them and write everything down outside, not in a building. Christ taught on a rock. See, that's the tradition of real, not in built up buildings and stuff like that. No, out in nature. Yeah, I get real passionate. I know. Because nobody's paying attention. Now, let me see here. I'm trying to see what the name of that is. Because, we have the divination tray. I was just seeing if it was a name attached to it. Give me a second. I don't think so. Because I would have had it. Yeah, it was just... let me see. I'm just trying to find if there's a name for that. It's just called a bronze model of sheep liver. But I wanted the markings on it to show you how to read it. I wonder if there's a name for it. Here. I'll put this. This is going to be the longest one ever because it's fascinating, y'all. Fascinating. Okay, give me a second. I'll put it. Where should I put it? I should put it in here. We still got websites. Edit, paste. Okay. So that way you will see this website over here. Okay. What does divination look like? All right. So that one you'll see in a minute because I just added. Ooh, it's a lot. Okay. Way too many. And I did not want to make this 2 videos, y'all. I just did not want to do it. Halloween symbols, Samhain, and Day of the Dead. All right. So let's just do Halloween symbols first. Every time I come back, it looks like I'm stuck on something. All right. We all know pumpkins, right? Give me a second. Yeah, you see it. Okay, we all know pumpkins. I think it's just my computer, not you. We all know jack-o'-lanterns. We all know squash. We all know gourds. We all know bats. We all know kitty cats. We all know trick or treat. We all know ghosts. We all know all those things. Spider webs and spiders and witch hats and candles and not so much, costumes, but yeah, just talking about Halloween because costumes you get to choose what you want to be. You could be a bartender or whatever, a baseball player. But yeah, the symbols of Halloween we all know: lightning bolts, crosses, broomsticks, owls, trees, graves. You can write all of those down and just start decorating. But yeah, we know, a cauldron, right? Let me see what else I can come up with. I mean, I can go on and on and on. I think we covered everything. Spooky houses. I think we covered everything, right? Give me a second. Yeah, I think that's it. I just want to keep this for the sake of it, you guys. Every country does not celebrate Halloween, so this is very helpful to people who will come around town, and find this mummies, right? Oh, shout out to Egypt. hmm Yeah, I think that's it. Corn, right? Harvest, okay? Candy, lanterns, magic potions. See, I would come back and write all that stuff down. Skeletons, cloaks, right? I'm almost sure we said candles. I'll just say it again just to be sure. Uh-huh. Right? And that's about it. Right? Crystal balls. What else? Yeah, that's about it. Well, that's a nice Halloween sign, isn't it? That's cute. All right. Yeah, I think that's about it. Because eyeballs, we'll be here all day. Graves, you know, coffins, scary hands, pitchforks, Lucifer, demons. I mean, we can go on and on, right? Dracula, right? Now I don't know what that's supposed to be. The little green guy. I don't know what he's supposed to be. Sometimes they take it too far. Well, yeah, I think I've named all the ones that I've ever decorated with. Silly and fun and, spooky and pirates, right? Ravens. Ooh, that's a good one. What else? Yeah, I think that's it. I guess snakes, I guess. Hold on for a second. Okay, I'm back. What else is in there? Bones. Yeah, I think we did everything, right? Horns. I'm running out of stuff, right? But this is good. This is good because I can come back and write all that down. What else? That's it, right? We did eyeballs, culture. We did. Oh, it's an old frog. Okay. So, I don't have my glasses on. I don't have to wear my glasses all the time. I just feel more comfortable with them because I want to read. When I'm live, I like to read the text and the chatting. A treasure chest with the pirates, right? Crystals. grimoires, magical books. All right, that's it. We got to get out of here. Oh, mirrors. Now, let me see. Hourglass. Yeah, I'm not going to hit more because we'll be here forever. So, yeah, these are good. These are good. I'm just making sure I said everything. So we're just talking about all the symbols, jars of eyeballs, which is weird. I never understood that. Even a kid, I was like, why do we got eyeballs in there? I used to crack my mom up with all my questions. She loved me. What else? And that's it. That's enough. Trick or treat. Okay. I think we did it. Give me a second. Okay. Done. Did it. Boom. Next. Okay. So there are the symbols. So Samhain and Day of the Dead is next. All right. Give me a second. All right. Samhain. Now, that's how it's spelled. And I promise you, this is how it's pronounced.
Samhain.
Festivity.
Samhain.
It's another word for festivity. And I'll show it to you in a minute. Okay. Samhain begins October 31st and it ends November 1st. Okay. Is Samhain the same as Halloween? Okay. While Halloween does have its roots in Samhain, they are not the same thing. Samhain is still celebrated by various groups, including Wiccans. There are many ways in which the festival is celebrated. So you can do two things at once. It's exciting. And then you can read it's okay in which it's celebrated. Halloween or All Hallows Eve is celebrated in much more the same as Samhain with costume celebrations more. But remember, they're two separate things. Okay. Samhain, we're over here reading. Okay. Is a Gaelic festival marking the end of the harvest season and beginning of winter. Winter's coming, or darker half of the year. Okay. In the Northern Hemisphere, it is held on November the 1st, but with celebrations beginning on the evening of the 31st of October as the Celtic Day began and ending at sunset. So there you go. It's not the same thing. And it's pronounced Samhain. Okay? Okay? Samhain. Okay? So if you put in that word in the word pronunciation,
Samhain.
that's what you're going to get. And as they, oops. What happened? Okay. Samhain. Samhain. And they tell you how to pronounce it right there. Because people try to pronounce the M and the H. That's no. Samhain. Okay. All right. Let's look at some images. Fun. To me, they're both fun. I mean, we used to go to bonfires in Michigan. So, I didn't know that. I was a little girl. I was just there for the fun. But I didn't know that's where the origins came from. Okay. Cool, right? So it's the end of harvest. You're just happy. You're celebrating. You have food to hopefully get you through winter. Can you imagine living 500 years ago? We got grocery stores. I have fun in the grocery store to this day, but these things come across my mind every once in a while. Now, we did talk about Yule last year, so maybe next year I'll talk about each and every one of these because I just didn't have time to hit all of them. But yeah, maybe next year we'll hit each and every one of those. Now, we did Yule, but we didn't do embolic, Asteria. I think I did, but I can't remember. We've been busy. We've been busy. I'll go look at it and figure what I want to do. And look at this. Isn't that beautiful? Lots of festivals. So go see if you can find one and attend. I think it's fantastic. I can't wait to next year because I think everything is back where it was prior to the pandemic. And if you don't want to go anywhere, set up a little space in your home and celebrate on your own in a nice, quiet area. Okay? All right. So let's talk about the Day of the Dead, which is very sacred. Very sacred. Then we're going to look at the Webbies. All right. The Day of the Dead is a holiday celebrated on the 1st and 2nd. So it never ends. It's fantastic. Okay. It originated and is mostly observed in Mexico, but also in other places. Okay. What happens? Sorry. The Day of the Dead is a time of celebration and remembrance of loved ones who have passed away. So they get their separate time of the year that we can think about them and honor them, just like Memorial Day for the United States. During the Days of the Dead, the family often take the opportunity to visit the grave sites and pull up weeds, clean it. Clean up debris, decorate the graves of loved ones, and then it's usually, maybe it's like, silk plants and things, and then next year they go back, because when things are out in the element, they get a little beat up, a little ragged, and then they come back and they redo the same thing, because it does, 4 seasons, winter and then spring, then summer, and then we're here in the fall, going back, celebrating the Day of the Dead. Nature may have taken over the gravesite, or vines, or you got to scrub it clean or whatever. So I think that's beautiful. Some people don't like visiting graveyards, I understand, or cemeteries, but I think you should always go. What's the point if nobody comes visit you? I'm sorry. Some people go all the time. My mother visited her mother's grave all the time, and she swept and kept it clean. But, for other people, such as myself and other family members that are going to be cremated and spread, so any ocean you go to, Gigi will be there. I didn't want to be in a box in the ground. I came from planet Earth. I'm going back to planet Earth. I want you to go somewhere and celebrate me, not go and weep and be freaked out. And I don't want to be in a box, so. And who knows how long people go visit graves. Some people never go. When I finally, because I was brave enough to do it, because I just hated it, visited my dad, it was like 2 decades after he passed away. And then almost another 2 decades after that, because I hated him being in a box, but that's what he wanted. That's where he is. But when we got there, it was we had to clean it up, y'all. And we didn't have anything. I think I shared the story. We didn't have any shovels or anything. We just used our hands. And we had a couple of tools in the car, and we cleaned it up. We took a picture of our dirty hands and everything. But we also took a picture of, because my dad is buried next to his dad, of both their clean. First, we took the before and after, and it was like almost covered up with dirt and grass. And we cleaned it up. We were like excavating, like, archaeologists. And then we sent it to, at that time, my aunt was alive. She was so grateful because she never went to go visit. So to me, that was sad. Your bones is in a box. Ain't nobody going to go visit. Forget that. I'm going to be in the ocean. I'm going to nurture. I'm going to be alive. Okay. So having said all of that, people who choose to be in cemeteries, mortuaries, whatever, there are, places where you can put the urn, but we keep ours with our family. And that is, thank God, that some places that's against the law to have their ashes, I think, but they're in an honorary place and you can keep them safe. But yeah, so they're doing the same thing we did, but we didn't even know that's what they did. So years later, when I read about the Day of the Dead, I went, oh, wow, we did that. But it was not on that particular day. Now, people can make altars if you don't want to go, if you don't like cemeteries. You can make altars. You can say prayers. You can have gatherings. You can do whatever you want. They might be buried in Virginia. I'm not flying to Virginia just for an hour. That type of thing. But yeah, very interesting, right? And there's lots of symbols and imagery and parades and celebration and dances and festivities and decorations and costumes, and it's all over the world, you guys. I think it's beautiful. It's fun. I've been to several. Maybe I'll visit another one. Everyone is happy to celebrate the people who have gone on. They're not afraid of skulls or skeletons or the imagery. People might say, oh, that's creepy. I'm like, no, it's not creepy, it's beautiful, because it's a celebration. They're remembering that person that once was, that skeleton. Isn't that weird? It's yeah. I'm sorry I said it, but it's kind of weird. But it's beautiful. Here they are having fun. Here they are celebrating and dancing. I like it. I think it's a lot of people, once they bury them, they don't even go back no more. They don't even think about them no more. They might come up in topic. So a shout out to the Mexican and all the other heritages that celebrate the Day of the Dead. I do it, to be honest with you. I celebrate or think about my ancestors almost every day. So, but I think it's beautiful, right? It's not creepy. Now that's a little meanie, but yeah, I get it. You know, it's fun. That's so cool. When I went to Mazatlan the first time, we went to festivals and it was so beautiful. All the time it takes to decorate, to paint, to do the costumes, to plan the dances, the design, the hair, the shoes. I think it takes 6 months just to celebrate, get ready to prepare. And that gives something, you have to be artistic, you have to be creative. What's wrong with that? That's why I think their culture is a lot more cohesive than a lot of other cultures. Because I want Africans to do that, not just have people of African descent, not just have Mardi Gras in one place on planet Earth. Mardi Gras should be everywhere, every month. We should be honoring our African culture everywhere, every month, in every city, in every town in America. But we're not, unfortunately. I do, but yeah, it's sad, isn't it? They lost connection, is what I'm saying. And I think this is beautiful. We should use them as an example to fulfill that in our culture. So yeah, I honor them. I think it's beautiful. Okay, let me stop looking. See, it's already an hour. We haven't done Webbies. Wow, we got a lot. Let's do it. I told you it was going to be an hour and a half. So yeah, copy. Let me do, I'm going to, let's try to do the top 3. That might make it go a little faster. Copy. And I am taking my time. There's like a glitch going on. And I'm not worried about when I post this. It's just going to get posted when I post it. But yeah, it is what it is. I wish, because people think you have to go all the way to the continent of Africa to get African culture. And I'm like, no, you don't. That's silly. So, what's the first thing? Here we go. Sorry, I'm just trying to be very methodical. I'm going to separate the 3s. Yeah, that'll make so my eyeballs aren't going crazy. Okay, so let me take the banner away. There we go. All right. Oh, that's beautiful. Put that in the background too. So remember I was saying how Harvard had this beautiful pictures of the ceremony, right? There it is, the silent voices of African divination. So here it is up close. The first thing I do, you guys, when I find these wonderful images, and let me get myself off the screen. That's the first thing I want to do. There we go. Is make it as big as I can here. Study it first. let's take a sip and just look at it, right? It's stunning. I want to do what they're doing. I want to be there. I want to learn. I want to be a part of it. Look at the young, I'm sure that's a young boy, watching, paying attention. Okay? I think that's his wife next to him. I think that's probably a priest. Okay? The wizard. Okay? And that the lady with the Nubian knots is probably there for help, healing, knowledge. Okay? And maybe his wife with the turquoise headband and the beautiful earrings is there because she helps him. And he's a very honored person in society because he's sitting on a chair, right? And look at the statue next to him, and the clothes and look at the arm, decoration. You know what I'm saying? It's just everything. The beads, the painting. This is just very sacred. It's been passed down for tens of thousands of years, and I just stare at it. Look at the pattern in his headdress, because people always think, oh, only Native American people wear headdress, and I'm like, no, they don't. So yeah, I just love this picture. Love it. Okay. So give me a second. Oops. Here we go. So I'm going to make it smaller and we're going to read the article. Yeah, that's what I do first. So it's a picture taken in 1989, thank goodness, in the Republic of Congo. So thank goodness. Okay. After several decades of research on African, I'm going to say wizards, screw them. And the subject continues to fascinate me because of the divination importance in daily human lives. It's centrality, okay, in cultural systems, its articulation of values and laws, and its breadth of artistry. I mean, I couldn't have put it any better than that. Okay. In a very real sense, as the Yoruba of Nigeria explicitly state about their system of Ifa, a divination system constitutes a people's book of knowledge, wherein their history and cultural guidelines are maintained. Exactly. Body knowledge. Oracle. Okay. We already talked about this. Okay. Their basket. Symbols. Objects. Okay. So yeah, that Harvard. Have a nice day. Right? So I'm just going to go really, really slow. Okay. There is a practitioner doing his job for his village and his people and his family. It's very important. It's the credo of mankind. It helped us get where we are today. Okay? So here, twinning occurs not only in the relationships of the practitioners and the spirit, but between the practitioner and the client. Okay? Twinning. You have to believe you're there for a purpose. You want them to help. Okay? So it's fascinating to me. All right. So they tell you everything about the practice. There he is, working his magic. I'm claiming it. It's nice. And I like this too. The topic of silence has fascinated me for many years. Silence is not a normal condition in humans. We have to create silence by not doing what we usually do, because we normally make noise and usually define humanness by the ability to speak. To restrict or prevent speech is noteworthy. In the ancient Benin kingdom in Nigeria, listen to this, the Oba only spoke publicly to issue a death sentence. The neighboring Yoruba kings still wear crowns with beaded veils so that no one can see them speak, which in any case they seldom do. Virtually all persons of status, certainly in West African societies, have those who speak for them. Did you catch that? Yeah, the royalty rarely spoke. Mhm. Think about it. They were on the continent of Africa. Can you imagine being in, let's just say, Zambia, near the jungles and the wildlife? You're not running around talking, because the lion gonna come get you, along with anything else that was hungry. So yeah, I love this article. Please, please read it. Silence is the supreme virtue, as it subsumes. Okay, now if you want to learn, you're here in class culture. Thank you very much. Let me put it over here. You can look it up, but we're here together.
Subsume.
It means to absorb. Okay. Integrity, courage, the power of the soul, prudence, modesty, temperance. Silence defines the man of character and is the attribute of the wise man. It is a type of wisdom. He knows how to be silent, possess true happiness, interior peace, and detachment. Ooh! And we're going to leave it there. Yeah, I just blew your mind, didn't I? Silence. Mhm. All right, what's next? Let's do this one next. Okay, so this one is ResearchGate. Okay. Now, this is really, 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 really boring, and somebody's stalking me. But anyway, on the computer. But anyway, read it to get what you need to understand. Okay? Let's do this part. The meaning is a construction emerging from the reading as a communicative event, activating in an indirect manner that presuppositions of the audience while conveying the intention of the speaker who interprets it. Pay attention to what they're saying. They weren't there to, you weren't there to question them, and they weren't there to give question and answer. They're there to tell you what they read. Okay? They're there to tell you what they read. You don't question them. You do what they tell you to do, and you move on. See, they messed that up, in our society, didn't they? Because why? There is no progress if you're stuck questioning over and over and over again. That's the sign of, I'm trying to be nice, of devolving. How about that? So here, it was a case study in Ethiopia. Okay, hunter gatherers, and they talk about divination. All right, I had to include that, and you can read the full text. You can download it. You can get a copy of the link. But yeah, it's reading the entrails analysis of the African divination discourse. Okay, so what's next? Yeah, I had to put that in there just to bring it home. They're there to tell you, and you're there to receive it and move on. It wasn't, you didn't question. Okay. Ifa divination. Okay, so here's a picture. Okay. There's a young boy. Mm-hmm. And there's that picture before. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting because now they're talking about the Americas and the diaspora. Mm-hmm. And the Caribbean. Okay. Or Caribbean, however you want to pronounce it. Give me a second. So now they're bringing it over to the Americas. Because why? The people came over, and one or two of those people were that person. Trust me. And they had all that knowledge. Mm-hmm. And then they talk here, under the influence of the colonial rule and religious pressures, meaning to make them become something they're not, traditional beliefs and practices were discriminated against. Okay, so they made them feel like they were bad. When all of those practices and divinations and customs and rituals helped bring mankind to that point in time, that was a clash of human existence. They tore down what got them there in the first place. They tried because continents were still in place, but the people that were brought over here, that was taken away from them. Well, now you can go grab it back. You don't have to be mad no more. Just go get it. But yeah, now, even though it was still happening over on the continent, over here it was stopped. They were dumbed down. They were just overpopulated. Nobody was educated. But now we can go back and claim them because it's still there. It's here. Harvard, UNESCO is giving it to us right here, right now in class culture. So there's a priest. Hmm. So he's still there. Hmm. And it is a complex knowledge, and you do have to train. However, they still know it. I don't want to do that. I'll just go get what I need from him. But while I'm there and while I'm here, I might learn some things along the way so I can do some things on my own. You know how I do. I mix it up so we can make it make sense. Okay. So that's Nigeria, and that's down below for you. Now, what's the next one? I told you this was going to be a long one. I told you. I warned you. Okay. But this is good. And I was like, no, we're not going to do extra, extra. We're gonna hit all of this. We sure are. All right. So copy. And then I'm going to paste. I sure am. And then I'm going to hit the next one. I just like showing proof of what I'm saying, and then I say it the way I want to say it to make it make sense to me and mine and to myself. But trust, I've read these like over and over again. It's fascinating. And then you feel good. You stand up a little taller. I implore people to get your DNA test because I know I got Nigeria in me. So these are my ancestors. And I'm like, yes, that's why I want to do things like that. That's why I love essential oils. That's why I like to read my tarot. That's why I do a form of divination. I don't read guts or nothing like that. But I do my own things. It is private. It is intimate. It should be sacred to you and yours. Mm-hmm. All right. Give me a second. All right. 10 historical divination methods for predicting the future. Okay, so there that is again. We don't know what to call it, y'all. I don't know what to call it. I'm just going to call it the intestines because that's what it is. It's depicting that. Because you can't, once after a day, it starts rotting. You know, they have to throw it away. But yeah, this was the rule book, the guide, the ruler, not as in measuring, right? That whole flap. That it to me, it's the umbrella part of your intestines, and your intestines hang down. That's the best way I can describe it, y'all. But yeah, now they say it's the sheep's liver, but it also looks like the human part of the intestines. Okay, so there you go. They stalking us, y'all. Look, they mad because I hit go away. So there's 1, 2, 3, okay, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can take one each month, and I'll meet you back next October. 9, 10, and take December and your birthday off. Okay? So it's so many. Let's go back to the bone oracle. All right. Pieces of bone engraved with early Chinese writing from the Shang Dynasty. So it wasn't just one culture or one continent. Okay? The meanings of these cracks formed the basis for early Chinese script and oracle bones, as they're now known as the oldest evidence of Chinese writing. Isn't that amazing? So there you go. Okay. So, okay, what's next? Because these are primitive early human beings, so we have to figure out, well, where did all of this come from? Where we know what's up. Now we know. So which one do I want first? Let's look at this one first. Oh, this is good. You're going to read this, okay? Maps of our own making, practicing divination in the 21st century, Canada. Okay, so it's, look, 430 pages. No, ma'am. They have a department of folklore. I'm jealous. I'm going to have to find the equivalent in America. Okay. And here, remember, I told you, tarot cards. If you don't want to do livers, if you don't want to do charts or trays, you can do tarot cards. So they're talking about the same thing, what we just shared here in class culture. All right, so enjoy. It's all here for you. Love you, boo. Next. So we Chinese, African, Europeans, Mexicans, everybody celebrates a type of divination. You know, Day of the Dead, bones, things like that. Okay. So here's another one. The veil of objectivity, prophecy, divination, and social inquiry. So this is 22 pages, but it's digestible. Okay, there you go. Okay, the position of social sciences. Now, there was something I wanted to read. Give me a second. Pray I can find it, or else I'm just going to let it go. I think it was this or something else. Give me a second. I should have wrote it down. I don't think it was this far down. Yeah. It wasn't this far down. So let me go up. I think it was on the page where her picture, right below. Yeah. Give me a second. Maybe it wasn't this one. Yeah, it wasn't this one. Okay, here it is. Yeah. Okay, here we go. All right. When the social scientist encounters another culture, language, or thought form, the temptation to idealize is an overwhelming one. Differences rather than similarities in the content of thought are stressed. The alien content constitutes the exotic and must be grasped by empathy or by a leap of faith that still holds one's commitment to science intact. While these differences in context are viewed as objective, understanding them is a mystery glossed over by positioning, or is that the right? Posting different interpretations of time and levels of abstraction. Similarly, the personal point of reference of traditional thought does not describe this form of thought completely or render it non-scientific, meaning it is scientific, okay? Because it's new. You just don't wash it away, dismiss it, or take it and make it better and forget that one. No, it's inclusive. That's the purest study of science. Okay? But just because you're the powerhouse does not mean you have to just because the whole science department in Stanford is not going to go shit on the medicine man in the jungle of the Congo. Okay? Just study it, then walk away and leave it alone. Don't try to erase it. Don't try to explain it. Just take it for what it is. Don't try to, they will dissect it in the sense of understanding and getting to incorporate maybe some of the practices as well, but they won't destroy it. Unfortunately, a lot of this is being destroyed. Mm-hmm. And then here, traditional African ontology. Let's get that for you. Okay. Second.
Ontology.
Okay. Is ontology seeks the classification and explanation of entities. Search. For me, it's the word search to find out. Okay. Concerned about the nature of something being or existing. Okay. African ontology is based on the concept of now and then, a temporal dimension that embraces much more than time, reduces traditional thought, and basically it's the vital force of humankind and understanding and how we came to be human beings. So you're going to have to read the rest. I'm just trying to get you there. Okay? It's a fascinating read. The veil of objectivity. It's very hard because remember, up until this point, because you're a heart of gold, everything was savage, stupid, dumb, monkeys, no culture. Yeah, right. Not in class culture. We give it to you. We tell you exactly what it's about. And that's a lie, right? Okay, it's going to be a little over the 1.5. I knew it was going to be a lot, but no, I don't care. Mm-hmm. So yeah, don't believe it. Just don't even engage in arguing the points. You use this in your next cocktail hour when the subject matter comes up. How about that? You do never believe any of that. That's why I do stand proud. That's why I don't engage in a lot of ignorant conversations, because to be honest with you guys, I can't. I just can't do it. And I'm not there to convince anyone either. No, ma'am. No, sir. Because all I have to do is what? Give them a link. And just be silent. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know you like that. Okay. Divination and deity in African religions. Love you, boo. It's all here. Okay? So you got links. Here is the book. This is a chapter in the book. So you're going to have to give them what they want and hit links and get all that stuff. But this is good to have. Divination and deity in African religion. divination as a spiritual phenomenon has had very little written about it. I don't agree. But anyway, perhaps due to part in the reading labeling of it as a form of magic, therefore irrational, utilitarian, uh, e- egoistic, okay, egoistic and insignificant, which we know is BS. Now, if you're making a grimoire, a book, you're handwriting it, you could just handwrite this in your book and cite it at the bottom. You know, you could just put the link at the bottom in your handwriting because it's here. It's beautiful. We know what's up. Now, it says here, yeah, that's my squeaky chair. It says here it's primitive, native, tribal, quoting fingers in the air, savage. We know that is not correct because that's where all this goodness came from. Since all these terms have about them a bad odor, a pejorative or incorrect connotation, in a previous article, I suggested the term highly localized in this connection. But even this is not quite fair. Many localized societies, like those in West Africa that this essay discusses, have extensive intercultural links. Okay? It's real. Oh, I can't do it. Down there it says it's real, and quoting fingers. It's divine, humanity, society. And here it even says, while such religions as Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, and so on are to varying degrees exclusive and insistent that only those accepting their cosmology and, there it is, soteriology participated in the real, meaning they weren't the only ones and they definitely were not the first. Never. Okay. Now let's look at this one next. And then we're almost done. Okay, Notre Dame. So why am I talking about this? Because it's out there, people. I'm sorry. I see a lot of people, black, young generations prior to mine, talking about things as if no one's talking about it or no one's written about it or no one knows about it. Sorry, not sorry. You have not delved deeper. And welcome to Class Culture. Go on and subscribe. And now you got what you got from Gigi Darling and Class Culture. Now you are a Heart of Gold. You have a great jumping board, springboard, whatever you want, base to start from, because it's all here. Now here they talk about whether it's a superstition. Well, whether it's a sin. Well, we have to have that argument too. But it is what it is. In America, you get to decide. Right? So it's 13 pages. It's digestible. You enjoy. I think this is important because you do not have to recreate the topic and or the argument. It's there already. Okay? You're welcome. All right. Next, we're going to talk about gypsies. We're going to talk about the symbols, and then the Day of the Dead. Okay? Now, gypsies are in my blood. Okay, we already showed that with the DNA. But they're different in the sense where they have their own culture for many, 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 many years, their own beliefs, charms, storytelling, things like that. But they are, some are leaving the craft and the culture and are going to Christianity, which is okay, because now their old traditions can be what? Still celebrated, still traditions. However, they are a part of the larger society of beliefs and faiths. But I think it's a part of saving who they are as well. If that doesn't make sense to you, we can have that argument later. But I'm just saying real quick. If you're just flailing out there by yourself, no recognition, no acceptance, the younger folks are not going to want to do that, sit on the ground, and they don't live in huts no more. They live in cities and things like that. It's bound to happen. However, they will still honor their roots. See what I'm saying? I was born an American. I'm an African American. I honor my Constitution and my culture and my country. However, I'm still preserving my African roots. That's just the same thing what I just said. Because if they just kill out all the gypsies and they don't accept anything, yeah, that's a junk. They're gonna get lost. I think that's the same thing that's happening to the Native American or the first peoples of America. Because they're, the I almost said the plantation. No, the reservations, I think, are killing them all. So it's good to see people of Native heritage in like Congress. That doesn't mean they're not going to do powwow. You know what I mean? So that's just me. We can argue that later if you want to. I don't even care. But how gypsies have moved from fortune telling to fervent Christianity. So, but it's not like they're going to stop doing their thing. And this is an important image because it's the younger people. You can't stop them, but just teach them not to forget. They won't. Trust me, they won't. And they won't be outsiders either. Okay? So yeah, this is just more. I don't know if you have interacted with gypsies. I have, but it's a lot. It's a lot. But yeah. So I used to watch the shows on TV and everything, but yeah, it was a trip. It was more sexualizing them, but instead of talking about their culture. Have you seen the movie Chocolate? Oh, I love that movie. They should make more gypsy movies. They really should. But yeah, now they're in the, hallelujah tents and stuff like that. I mean, which is nothing wrong with it, but that doesn't mean they're going to lose their culture and or their practices and or traditions and celebrations. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm just going slow and you can read this. Okay. It's not like what they unfortunately did to the Native American people, in the 1900s, made them and, separated them from their culture and took the teepees down and all of that. No, they're still in their habitat. How they are traveling people. Humans are supposed to travel. We're supposed to migrate. So I think they're the last culture that still practices that. However, as time goes by, not as much. All the continents have been, mapped. So now it's not like 200 years ago, ooh, USA, new continent, No, not anymore. That's enough. But yeah, I just thought it was interesting and I kind of like the idea. And they come from every continent. Now, what is a gypsy? A gypsy is supposed to be someone of Western Indian descent, supposedly. Okay? And they still travel. Okay? And they can't help it. They're not people who want to settle down in towns and houses and things. They just don't want to do it. They just don't want to do it. Okay, let me say a better description of gypsy. A member of a traditionally people originated in northern India. Okay, so they say northern India. It's western India as well. But they have all types of names. I'm not going to fight that. Give me a second. Yeah, they're nomadic people. And they blend in every culture. I said that part. Let me see. Give me a second. I'm trying to see a map. Because when I did my DNA, because see, another thing, people back when were a bit illiterate and they would say Indian in the sense that they thought they were Native American, and I knew they weren't. So when I got my, DNA back and they were on the correct continent, I was like, yeah, I knew they were a gypsy. They weren't Native American. Because people used to always say, oh, well, you're just Native American. I'm like, no, we're not. We're a little bit different than that. Okay. So let me show you a picture. And as soon as you see it, you're going to be like, oh, okay. There it is. Yeah. So we can't help ourselves. Yeah, traits. Put it that way. Traits are hard to erase. Uh-huh. Okay. So let me get rid of that. Okay. Sorry. Give me a second. And then it was funny because this person did blend in Native American culture, and they claimed to be Chickasaw, but they were really from India. Okay, so we would have those discussions all the time, and oh my God, people! I just got sick of the fighting. I'm like, why are you fighting about something that shouldn't be fought over? You know what I mean? It just is what it is. Just relax. I think Americans are so stupid and so, yeah, I said it, so hooked up on race. It's so dumb. It just gets on my nerves. Makes me itch. So 2 more and then we're done. Yeah, it's the longest one. I knew it was going to be long, but I don't care. Give me a second. And last 2. But it's a fascinating history of divination. Divination has to do with practices of who? Peoples. And then in the practice and in the study and the research of peoples, this is the trail I chose to go down. Okay? The actual people, the places, the purpose, the meanings, the symbols, the where, the why, the what, the when, and the hows. Done. Boom. Almost done. Almost there. Squeaky chair. I know I see the spray can I'm supposed to go buy every time. What is it? WD-40. And I never buy it because I'm like, that's a waste of money. But okay. So let's look at Day of the Dead and we'll end up with the symbols. Okay. So I encourage you to incorporate Day of the Dead. Why not? Okay. This is a great website. Okay, yeah, we're being stalked by somebody. Once a year, our departed come back to life to celebrate with us. My God. Hold on for a second. Okay, I'm back. This is a great Webby because they tell you exactly what to do, when it is, what you do, how to celebrate it, why, the skull, okay, the marigolds. My grandmother loved marigolds. Okay, the offerings. Look how beautiful. Okay, I think they deserve that. You know, your loved ones. Day of the Dead is not Halloween. Anytime I need, look, I like to celebrate 2 things in one day. I don't care. Look, I'm always celebrating something. So if you're around me, we're going to have fun. Different traditions. And then I think that's the end. Yep. History, recipes, designs, culture, traditions, events, and then the about. Now, the symbols of Halloween, and then we did it. Yay! Love this stuff. Okay, I lied. It was 2 hours. All right. Give me a second. Symbols. All right. 5 Halloween symbols and their origins. Yes. Now, while I'm here, let me go ahead and make sure as soon as I make this live, you can see it. So shout out to whenever you come around and visit this. We did this. We did this. And I wanted to talk about this before I do the live one because I want you to just grasp everything that we're going to talk about. We won't have to explain it. Why? Because you will have already came and watched these episodes. Okay? Witches. Black cats. I'm not superstitious, but anyway. Bats. Okay. Ghosts and skeletons. So we know all of this, don't we? Yeah, you can stand up a bit taller. Okay. So to the top. All right. Samhain. They talk about Samhain, right? Talk about the Middle Ages. Talk about pagan holidays, witch hunters. Okay. Black cats. It's associated with Halloween. It stems from the Middle Ages. They were accused, witches were thought to turn into black cats. Okay. Rumors that cats were witches or servants disguised themselves. Okay. Some people are scared of black cats. I don't know why. Okay. Bats. Dracula. Okay. It's associated with a holiday. Goes back to Samhain or Samhain. Sorry. I don't have my glasses on. Samhain roots. During the night ceremonies, large bonfires lit up the sky. And then you would see the bats fly by. Okay. That's when they're most active. So that made sense. Okay. And then ghosts and skeletons, Samhain, and the Christian holidays, All Hallows Eve. So we already know about this, don't we? Samhain as well believed that the veil between the living and the dead thinned, and that was at that particular time of the year for some reason. I don't know. Allowing spirits to cross over, and you could speak to them as well. Okay, that's Samhain. Okay. And then jack-o'-lantern, right? Okay, remember? Stingy Jack. Remember, we already went over that. So, when Jack fell, the devil sentenced him to an afterlife traveling between planes with only the light of a smoldering ember inside a carved turnip. And he was nicknamed Jack of the Lantern, Jack-o'-lantern. Once the Irish brought their traditions to Northern America, people began to use them more commonly and easier to carve pumpkins than turnips because they were bigger and cuter and more fun. That is the end of this particular episode of Vlogtober. Oh, made it. Phew, we did it. Oddities and Curiosities, Divination and Halloween Symbols, episode number 11. Thank you, Hearts of Gold. We did that. We sure did. It's a lot, but it's important that I have it all in one place for me and for you. We are done. So let me copy it. Give me a second. Wow, that's a lot. And I love it. I love having a channel. I really, really do. Because now I have one place to all of this stuff. And I can entertain you at the same time. And the Vlogtober lives forever, you guys. Shout out to anyone that's watching this that's not during October. You can watch these any time of the year. And I appreciate you so much for hanging in with me. These are usually an hour. It's okay, 50 more minutes to get all the good. All this information is down below in the description box. Please and thank you. Hit all the reminders on all the upcoming shows. In between time, in the meantime, join a playlist. Look at all my playlists. Read the titles. They say exactly what's in there. This channel is about everything. Just let me know what you're interested in. If you want me to make something about something, let me know in an email, a DM. Call me. Text me. I'm here for you, Hearts of Gold. Thank you so much. And until next time, I'll see you in a video near you. Okay? Bye.